Hello, this is David, and welcome to Equity Story. As you can actually see, our I just show the ASX 200 here. Our ASX 200 is really holding up very nicely, although we were sort of 0.49% in the red today. We are generally holding above these short-term trend lines, which I still think it as pretty bullish, and obviously. Hopefully we'll have a decent night on the Dow, and our market could kick on from here. Just actually having a look at some of the shares, some of the trending shares, you can see we have had a tough market, but generally speaking, the trending shares I think are doing very respectfully. As you can see, FRM, good profits, and actually had a little buy towards the end and ended up quite nicely up 2.37%. But again, that chart looks excellent. I think we're up about 7 or 8% on that stock. Vocus, again, record highs today, excellent. So we're about sort of 3.5% profit in there, looking very, very good. Again, TWE had a good strong day today. Again, excellent looking stock, and I think we're up about 3%. Hopefully, we'll get more for when we sell that. It's looking good. AIA, again slightly down today, but if you can see the trend, it's just the way she moves, and I expect her to do this before she starts trending up. Magellan looking very good, over 24 today. Again, had that breakout the other day. Again, we're up about 3.5%, 4% already on Magellan. Looks excellent. Greencross, we put it as a buy today. Now we do like this story. I mean, there are sort of private equity interest in buying this. I had a little feeling today actually that I thought this, the way this is looking, this should have gone on with it. I wouldn't be surprised that, and maybe a good sign that the price is sort of getting held down in this region, because the general trend, I felt this should have actually done a little bit better than it did today. If that is the case, it's being held by us, then obviously those private equity people are still interested, and there could be a deal, obviously settled quite a bit higher maybe than where she's trading at the moment. But again, really bullish, and I was reading the Macquarie report on Greencross. I think it is on the ASX, and again, they're growing the business in so many different ways. It's a really exciting company. I think sold down to ridiculously low levels. It's coming back, formed a bit of support around this sort of moving average around this sort of $7 level. I do expect the story to kick on from here. I think it's a really, really exciting company. Again, BAP, again back over the $5, so we're up about sort of 1.5%, and hopefully she'll have a nice move up for us over the next few weeks. TPM, another one of our trending stocks, record highs, looking really bullish, and hopefully I'd like to see TPM attack that $12 mark, which would be great. But again, record highs. So that's all you can really ask. Hanson, looking sort of fine. I mean, we did pay a little bit more for this, but I am expecting this stock to turn up and start trending up and at least go over $4, at least attack $4. And MTI, actually one of the trends we put on recently that hasn't been brilliant, recovering pretty nicely on fundamental reasons. So all in all, we're actually very, very happy with those trends, and we look like we're going to be making good money with them all in the next few weeks. As long as we don't get anything obviously from left field around the world. But looking at actually some other stocks of interest, and often we talk about patience, and one of our, I'll show this on a short-term chart. Next DC, which we've held for a long time a long time since we've been open, 2 years in our 3-year growth portfolio, and often doing nothing for a while. Now, the market's really starting to wake up to Next DC, and again hitting record highs again today, and what an incredibly bullish short-term chart. Looks absolutely fantastic. Interestingly, very interesting stories. This is it's one of our 3-year growth stories. Is Gauge Roads, and we bought Gage Roads down here around this, just that we suggested buying, I think, around under 6.5 or 7 cents. Um, Gage Roads had an interesting history. It's obviously come back a long way from 26, and around these sort of numbers, we found it really interesting, and that they actually had a great, I think, victory today. One of their beers, which is one of their craft beers, was voted the best in Australia. I do suggest you go to the website and read the ASX 200 and just download the announcement today. I will send it out to you, but it was very, very bullish, and I think this company's craft beers and specialized beers, it's a huge growth area, and I think Gage Roads, this is good news, and hopefully this will be the kickstart to see Gage Roads get back and start giving the company a valuation, something more like it deserves. Just having a look at Cobra again. Just look at a short-term chart. Cobra is one of our favorite trending stocks. It's come back. I'm just watching this closely. We're just sort of waiting. We're just waiting for the report to come out on the production numbers. If we feel that they're hitting targets, I think we'd definitely like to jump back in and start trending the stock, because as you know, it's one of our favorites and one obviously that we've done really well with in the past. Good to see. I'd just like to mention Crusader. You know what believers we are in Crusader. If you're not in this stock, I'll have a look on the short term. If you're not in the stock, we think you should get into it. It's got four great little commodities and four great little mines, and I think this potentially is a really, really undervalued company, and again well worth a look at. Please go to the website and read up about it if you're not in it. If you're not in it, I suggest you obviously take a real serious look at it. I'd just like to say, the other day we go on about VTG. I was saying to you, I think it was here, how bullish it was on the charts, and look, it's come up and it's doing really well, hitting record highs. Maybe for a short-term trade, I think you can see very similar price action now. BWX doing exactly, it's very similar, and I expect BWX might do something fairly similar to VTG. See that price action there, and like I said with VTG, that's exactly the same, very similar. It was sort of there and had that nice move up. So have a look at. It's a great story as well, BWX. So have a look at it, and just like to mention one thing apart from BWX, one of our favorite companies. One we've coined the blue chip of 10 baggers. Again, we go on about this stock, how it's had this really nice breakout, which should have gone for a little run now. It's starting to move, and again hitting record highs today. So we're obviously pretty, with a pretty down market. It's great to see equity story with a lot of stocks hitting record highs. Obviously, one after another, which is really, really obviously great for us as a company. Just mention one thing. Flight Center is not one of our stocks. When we buy, the guy is a brilliant. He taught me the art of this trending platform. We always believe behind every company there's those what we call the people in the know, and the CEO, he talks to its fund manager, and often you'll see movements in share prices before the bad news comes out, and you can see really, I think in Flight Center, the bad news was out, or had been leaked around April last year, because I know a lot of fund managers really like this stock, but again it's getting sold out, and again today the sort of big downgrade. So I had a profit downgrade, and I think this is a classic example of often people say technicals, it's not really fundamentals, it's actually technicals, and we say this time and time again, there's part of technicals which are actually more fundamental than even fundamentals, because where the true story is, where the real story is where people are putting their money and where the money goes. And sometimes you can see the money coming out of a stock. It's because the people in the know around the company, the people talking to other people, and the word gets out. You can see that the company being sold, and I think this is why it's so important to mix your technicals with your fundamentals. This is a hard game what we do in this business, and I think here's a classic example. Anyway, I'd like to thank you for listening to Equity Story, and we look forward to bringing you this report tomorrow night. Good night.